For more than a century, the Titanic has rested in absolute darkness, far beyond the reach of sunlight, memory, and human touch. Down there, nearly 4 kilometers beneath the surface of the North Atlantic, time does not pass the way it does above. It corrodes, it erases, and it waits. Tonight, on Biography Plus, we take you to a place where history has remained frozen since April 1912, and to a discovery so unsettling that even the scientists who made it debated whether the world should ever see it. What you are about to hear is not a retelling of a famous tragedy. It is the story of how modern technology crossed a line no one had crossed before, and why what it found inside the Titanic forces us to rethink not only how the ship sank, but how its passengers spent their final moments. The North Atlantic is one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth. Even today, it is a place sailors respect with quiet fear. Storms can rise without warning. Fog can swallow entire ships. Water temperatures remain near freezing, even in calm conditions. It was into this hostile ocean that a modern research vessel positioned itself, hundreds of miles from the nearest coastline, rocking steadily against dark swells. On board was a team of scientists, engineers, historians, and deep-sea specialists assembled for a mission unlike any attempted before. Their goal was simple to explain, but almost impossible to achieve. They wanted to send a machine not just down to the Titanic, but inside it. Not to photograph the exterior, which had been documented many times before, but to enter corridors and rooms where no living human had set eyes since the night the ship sank. The wreck lies at a depth of nearly 12,500 feet. At that level, pressure is more than 380 times greater than at sea level. Any unprotected human would be crushed instantly. Even most machines fail within minutes. Metal buckles, electronics implode, cables snap under their own weight. Every previous attempt to explore the Titanic's interior had been limited by these forces. Until now, months of preparation led to this moment. Engineers tested materials in pressure chambers that simulated the crushing weight of the deep ocean. Archaeologists studied original blueprints of the ship to identify which areas might still be accessible and which were likely too fragile to approach. Drone pilots trained in simulations of collapsed hallways and narrow passageways, knowing that one wrong movement could trap their machine forever inside the wreck. The drone itself was a marvel of modern engineering. Compact, silent, and built from titanium alloys designed to withstand unimaginable pressure, it carried cameras capable of capturing microscopic detail in total darkness. Its lights were carefully calibrated. Too bright, and they would stir up sediment, blinding the cameras. Too dim, and the drone would be navigating blind through a graveyard of twisted steel. When the final checks were complete, the crew fell silent. The drone was lowered slowly into the ocean, its tether unspooling into blackness. On the monitors, the screen showed nothing at first, just drifting particles floating like ash in the void. Then, gradually, the ocean floor emerged. Debris appeared first. Broken beams, rusted fragments, pieces of a world that had ended violently more than a century earlier. And then, through the haze, the unmistakable shape of the Titanic's bow rose into view. Massive, scarred, still recognizable. It stood like a submerged cathedral, its presence filling the control room with stunned silence. For the first time, the team understood something deeply unsettling. The Titanic was not just a wreck. It was a place where human stories had stopped mid-sentence. Once the exterior mapping was complete, the mission moved to its most dangerous phase. The drone approached a narrow opening in the hull, created by decades of collapse. Slowly, carefully, it slipped inside. The water here had not been disturbed since 1912. As the drone moved forward, clouds of fine silt rose like ghostly curtains. The corridors were narrow, unstable, and filled with the remains of lives interrupted. Railings twisted at unnatural angles. walls buckled inward under pressures their designers never imagined. Then the cameras revealed something no one expected. Some rooms were astonishingly preserved. Chairs still stood upright. Tables remained set for meals that were never finished. Dishes lay scattered where they had fallen. In one corner, a suitcase rested against a wall, its clasp still closed, as though someone had set it down moments before disaster struck. These were not relics. They were moments that in one cabin. The drone's lights fell upon a child's porcelain doll, sitting quietly in the silt. Its painted eyes stared upward, untouched by time. Nearby, a pair of leather shoes lay side by side, perfectly aligned. Scenes like these transformed the wreck from a disaster site into something far more disturbing. A frozen museum of human panic, hope, and resignation. The drone moved deeper. It reached what had once been the grand staircase. Before the sinking, this was the heart of the Titanic's luxury. A place of polished wood, gilded railings, and crystal chandeliers. Now, it was a skeleton. Rusticless hung like orange icicles from the remaining ironwork. The wood had long since rotted away, but the shape was still there. The outline of elegance reduced to decay. The contrast was almost unbearable, but the most unsettling discoveries were still ahead. Deeper inside the ship, the drone entered sections never previously explored. Hallways narrowed. Debris thickened. Then, at the end of a partially collapsed corridor, the cameras captured something strange. A doorway, sealed. Its frame unusually intact compared to the destruction around it. The edges were clean, protected, almost deliberate. The operators marked the location and moved on, but the image lingered in every mind. The Titanic, it seemed, still had secrets it had chosen to keep. The exploration continued. Researchers began noticing patterns that challenged everything they thought they knew about the sinking. Some areas believed to have been obliterated were nearly intact. Others expected to survive had collapsed entirely. Furniture had been swept into tight piles, suggesting violent surges of water. Heavy objects were found lodged against ceilings, not floors, implying sudden pressure events far more explosive than previously assumed. The sinking had not been orderly. It had been chaotic, violent, unpredictable. Then came the moment that changed the mission forever. The drone navigated through a passage choked with debris and entered a chamber completely untouched since 1912. The room appeared frozen in a single instant. Suitcases, shoes, and personal belongings lay scattered exactly where they had fallen. The cold, oxygen-starved water had preserved the scene with terrifying precision. The lights swept across the space. The control room fell silent. In the corner lay human remains. Small, fragile, unmistakably a child. The body lay curled on its side, fragments of clothing still clinging to the skeletal frame. Just inches away was another small body, positioned so close it appeared they had been holding each other when the water rose. Their arrangement spoke of fear, comfort, and a final instinct to cling to someone familiar in the darkness. One spoke. Some turned away from the screens. Others covered their mouths. Then the cameras revealed something even more haunting. Nearby lay a single adult shoe, half buried in silt. Its stitching still faintly visible. The shoe told a story no one wanted to say aloud. An adult had been there, and then, somehow, had not been. Whether swept away, crushed elsewhere, or forced into an impossible choice, no one could say. The footage was withdrawn. The drone slowly retreated. After long debate, the team decided most of what they had seen would never be released to the public. Some images were archived for historical study. Others were sealed away entirely. What had begun as exploration had become intrusion. In the weeks that followed, carefully worded statements were released. Rumors spread. Leaks appeared online, only to be quickly removed. The mystery deepened. What exactly had been found? And why was it being hidden? The discovery reignited debates that still rage today. Is the Titanic a scientific site or a sacred grave? Who decides how far exploration should go? As technology advances, the ocean's silence becomes harder to preserve. Yet one truth remains undeniable. The Titanic was not just a symbol of ambition and hubris. It was a ship filled with ordinary people, children clutching dolls, parents carrying shoes, lives interrupted in the dark. Beneath the waves, the Titanic still speaks, not in words, but in silence. And sometimes, when we listen too closely, we hear things we were never meant to find. This is Biography Plus. And this is history, still breathing in the dark.